Hello friends, welcome back to our series. Alright, so this is part 4 of the React Native beginner tutorial. So in this one we'll be looking at some JSX fundamentals. Alright, great. So in this video we'll be looking at components, we'll be looking at JSX, we'll be looking at props, and we'll be looking at states. So JSX simply means JavaScript and XML, and props, which is short form for properties. So let's look at what props are, what components are. Okay, so let me give this some styling so we see what we are having here. Style equals styles dot container. Okay, so I can center it in the middle. So flex one is simply to span whatever is inside of this view or this container styles or class across the screen. All right, so this is what I have now. So let's talk about components. So to create a component in React, I'm still saying React. So to create a component in React Native, it's simply something like so. So let's see const, and let's create a component class. So simply by like so it's an arrow function. So this is how to create a component. So components are more like functions. So essentially the app function here it's a component. So I can actually reuse this component here. Let's do a return and let's pass in something. This is my custom component. Okay, I don't know why this code is not formatting. Let me try and format this. Okay, let's try this one more time. All right, so I formatted my code. Okay, so I can pop in here. So when I open a curly brace and I pass in the name of the function, so components, and I pop it in here, it's going to put whatever is in here inside of this function. So let's even see what we have. Okay, so it says boom. So this is my custom component. So let's try and create another component. Okay, I don't want this video to get another. So when naming components, it's good to use a capital letter. Component. So you appreciate this later in the course. Okay, so all right, so let's pop in this another component class. Okay, so boom, it shows that this is another component. So I can duplicate this several number of times and it shows. All right, so enough for the component. So let's do some JSX. Okay, so JavaScript and React allows us to write JavaScript inside of functions like so. So this is essentially JSX. So it looks pretty much like HTML, but this is actually JavaScript, just that with new component API. So we have text from React Native and Vue. Let me make this bigger so we appreciate it, and let me get rid of these two. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, so now let's do something up here. Let me get rid of this guys too as well. Okay, so you can follow this course using the create expo app using TypeScript, but then if you don't want to be getting a lot of errors, you can do same for JavaScript, but for this course we are using TypeScript. Okay, so I'm going to be creating inside of this guy, let's do const name equals John. I think I should use my name. Let's use Sonny. And what can we return here? So we can do some custom JSX by, okay, let me comment this out and come down to the next line and do a text. Okay, so when you want to print items dynamically, you see when I use a mouse pointer over this, it shows const name equals Sonny. So I can save this and I'm going to print my name equals Sonny. So let's add age. So const age equals 25. I'm not 25. You want to know my age? Okay, so I'm 21. So let's see if this. So since you're using TypeScript, you can either add the types, so string and number. Right. So I can come down here and pass in the age. So when I do, my age is 21. So with this dynamic printing, I can also come down here and do another text. And let's do the curly braces. So inside here, I can print anything dynamically. So this is for people who don't know this, who are not familiar with React. So when I do 2 + 2 and I save, it's going to show 4. It's not going to print what's 2 + 2. It's going to print, it's going to compute it. All right. So let's try this one more time. Okay. So now let's just do inside of this. Let's just generate a random number. So math.run, and it gives me this. Okay. Let me just okay, so I just run it to the nearest decimal place. So great. So essentially, I hope you understand how to work with JSX. But before I continue, let's look at some data types in JavaScript. So this is for those who aren't familiar with TypeScript and JavaScript. Data types. Okay, so we have the string data type, we have the number, we have the boolean, we have the array, we have the objects data type, we have the any type. Okay, so I think this is cool. So string is like so. So this is a string and this is a number and this is the boolean. So boolean is married, so I can do is married, so I set it to boolean. So boolean is essentially true or false, and this is the object data type with strings, and the any data type is the same. All right, so where's this error coming from? Okay, so let's put in the curly braces here and one more curly braces here too as well. Right, so the error is gone. So so let's try something here. Okay, so I am married. Let me try one more thing. All right, so let me see if this and explain what I have here. Okay, so I'm making use of the boolean. So I say I am married and I do it a dynamic printing. So it's married. If it's married, this is called optional chaining, if I'm right. So this is more like if else. So I say if I am married, then output yes, else no. So it says that I am married, yes, because I set it's married to true. So when I do that, I set it to false. It's going to print out no. You see, it printed out no. So this is why React Native is the best. It has fast reload, super fast reload. And I see my hobbies are, and I set a string of arrays. So football, gaming, reading. I think I should remove this reading here and put coding or something. Okay, coding is fine. Okay, so I see my hobbies are football, gaming. So I do my hobbies are in the dynamic printing. I join whatever is up here. Not join, separated by some comments. Okay, and this one I see my friend's name is, and I want to pick the very first index. So when I change this to 1 in programming, the index starts from 0 1 2. So it starts from 0 1. Okay, so 0 1 2 3. So this is the very first in normal counting. We start from 1 2 3. So in programming, 0 is the first. Or let me just say in JavaScript, files are disturbing. All right, so if I select this and I save, it should change. Okay, this is because I'm selecting the very first for my array. So if I have additional stuff, okay, let me just pass something here. So Jane, I think it should work fine. And I select the second one. You saw that I added another object here. So Jane. So when I select this other one, it's going to pick that of the second object. So the very first item. So you can also do another one and do. And let's say I select the third one. I save. Zone 2. Okay, sure. So the third one is supposed to be number 2. So it's going to select do. Right. I guess I'm making sense. Okay. So alright, so now let's do the last part, which is props. And so props, and let's create so let's just do a text and see hello. What's wrong with my typing? So hello there. This is a prop example. Okay, let me get rid of this guy. So since I didn't TypeScript, let's define the type of the prop here. Let me get rid of this guys. Right, so let's define the type and let's call this props. I think we should just go with the name. This is fine. And up here, what we can do is to what do you think? Okay, so let's create another component up here. Okay, so now let's just create another component up here and call it const test component. The video is getting long, and okay, so this is what I want actually, and I want a return. So good. Okay, so essentially, so we define a type of prop. So this thing can be anything, and we set it to we added name and the type of string. Let's just do age and the type of number, right? Let's continue. You are prop dot age. You see, since I was in TypeScript, when I do the dot notation, I get this. All right, so in here, okay, let's just leave this comment. I can come and pop in the components we created. All right, so when I pop in this in here, so you can see that it says hello John, you are 20 years old. So I can duplicate this several number of times and just change this to, let's say, Sonny, and give Sonny 21 because Sonny is 21, and 30. And let's call this Jerry. Okay, so this is the beauty of JavaScript and React. So let's assume I create another file here and call it test.tsx, and I do rnfc, and let's just see, I import, no, let's not do this. So let's just copy paste this piece of code here. So let's copy paste this, put it here, and let's do some modification here. Okay, right. Okay, so let me do an import. All right, so let me just get copy this. I've just copied this, so let me just get rid of this and get rid of this too as well, so we continue with a clean start. The video is getting too long. Okay, so I've brought everything here, and about custom component and using components. So I have this test component here. Okay, so inside of my app I can import this test component from React. So let me do an import. So import, and when I do test, so VS Code automatically gives me this. So right now I can come down here. Okay, so now let's go up. So I can come down here and inject the test component here, so I can use this anywhere in my app. So all I need to do is to import the test component, and I can reuse this. Okay, let's go back. So let me duplicate this and change this to Psalm and give Psalm 45. Okay, so now let's see and see what we get. All fingers crossed. I hope you don't get an error. So expected a string where's the error coming from? Okay, so I think we should check the render method of app. What is wrong? Okay, let me fix this. All right, so it's just basic VS Code fooling around. Okay, so guys, let me clear this up and explain what I have here. So I created a new file and named it test. So the test component, and I defined the type prop and give it some name and age properties, and I destructured the props here. So props, that's the parameter, and props, so the type of prop, and hello props.name, because when I do dots I can access the name and the age. All right, so in here I just injected my components from another file inside of this. So sorry if this thing is getting a bit confusing, but trust me, you understand and appreciate it more later in the course. All right, so guys, so we looked at what components are, we looked at what JSX was, we looked at what props was, and what states to are. So thanks so much for watching this one. This video is a bit too long. Don't forget to like this video. See you in the next one.